Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for spending a little bit of your lunch with me. This is Lunch with Laura. Today we're going to be talking about relationship success, how we're wired. Okay, so I'm going to admit that I started attending a singles group at my church, and they're having a wonderful teaching. They're talking about this book, The Right One, and it's really wonderful. But something really impacted me yesterday. It's not something that's new to me, but she said it in a way that really resonated with me, and she said it so much better, so much more artfully, and just to the point than I had before. So I was like, yeah, that's what I mean. And so really what she was talking about is how we're wired, how we relate to one another, how we are successful in relationships. There is a method to the madness. There is somewhat of a system. Now, obviously, everybody is a product of their own environment. Everybody's a product of their upbringing, and all those things are about that come together as our life experience. But the important thing was, she said, it boils down to certain things. You always find those one or two people that are kind of, outside of, the spectrum. Once you throw the dots on the chart, they fall outside of that. That's fine. But for the most part, she was basically saying that, for women, we just need to kind of graciously accept compliments and accept being taken care of, and also taking care of others. It's that cyclical thing, goes round and round. You take care of me, I take care of you. It is reciprocal. It is a cycle. It's give and take. And so, she said that that's important, and it's important, the whole, men need to love us, and women, we need to respect them. And, them loving on us is, again, them taking care of us, them protecting us. I'm obviously taking this from a more traditional view. It's okay, you don't have to agree with me, and that's fine. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It just means that we have two different perspectives. So for me, it's more traditional. A gentleman who is going to take care of you, who will, sacrifice everything for you. Because, for me, I am giving him authority over my life. I am coming under his covering, his financial covering, his spiritual covering. I am submitting that power that I have in my own life. I'm submitting that to him. And in exchange, I expect him to sacrifice for me. That's the give and take. That's the way that, that I look at it. The important part that she said, as far as men is concerned, and it was so good for me to hear this again and be reminded, because you get through, your day, and you have so many other things competing for your attention and your time and your energy, that sometimes, kind of the basic things get lost. And so a good reminder for me was, we are to respect. And what does respect look like? What is that? We kind of boil it down. What is that? And for me, we have to allow them to feel needed. We have to allow them to, we have to express our appreciation for the things that they do. They have to, they have a longing. They're wired to be acknowledged, to be recognized for the things that they do for us. And that is the way that a large part of the respect piece of it, that's what respect starts to look like. When we acknowledge, when we say, yes, thank you for that. Thank you for working those, that extra shift. Thank you for putting in those extra 10 hours this week. Instead of 40 hours, you put in 50 hours. Thank you, so that, we could do whatever we needed to do, whether it was to invest in something, or to take care of something that we needed, or to even go on vacation just to spend time with one another, to refresh, to reconnect, whatever it is. We need to remember to say thank you. And, because a lot of times, you hear men, they just say, oh, I can't do nothing for you. I can't, or I feel like I can't do nothing for her. And what does that mean? I think that's what they're trying to say. They can't do anything that's going to match or exceed what the lady is already doing for herself. And they feel, if they're in that situation, they feel like they're cut off at the knees. They don't feel like the hero. They don't feel like they are someone that you can look up to. That's another thing about respect. You know, men want to be acknowledged and admired. You know, they want to be admired for the skill sets that they have. They want to be admired for the talents that they have. They want to be admired for the things that they do every day, even if it's just the small things, or they may look at it as a small thing. You know, they want that acknowledgement, that appreciation, to know that they're out there every day, you know, getting their butt kicked over, you know, whatever they do for a living. You know, if they're putting up with a boss that's just, you know, the hell on their job, you know, they want to come home and feel appreciated, that, you know, all that they go through, that we see them, we acknowledge them, and we say thank you. And we say, I appreciate the things that you're doing. Thank you. You know, you may say, you know, hey, that shirt looks really nice on you. They, you know, they say, yeah, that's nice. But if, you know, they say, you know, thanks for going over to Starbucks and get me some coffee. I really needed that. I believe that they really, that resonates with them. That speaks their language. That shoots off all the bells and whistles for them. And so, you know, if you are in a position where, you know, if you're not in a relationship and now you're single and you want to be in a relationship, I think that this is a good reminder, you know, of what is successful. How were things set up for us? What does that look like? And, you know, keeping that in mind, you know, what from there do we look at as far as, you know, things that we have in common? You know, like, for example, you know, it really has to be somebody who shares my beliefs. You know, there really has to be somebody who runs hard after Jesus, isn't ashamed to say that he loves Jesus, and that, you know, he loves Jesus just as much, if not more, than I do. And so, you know, those kind of core beliefs that for me, you know, we have to share. And so, you know, we start there. We're starting off pretty good. Sorry, I'm fighting off these mosquitoes. You know, we have to, you know, kind of really start there. And then, you know, from there we can kind of fine tune, okay, you know, what other things am I really looking for? You know, a healthy lifestyle. It doesn't mean that you have to be a gym rat, you know, that you're in there every other moment that you're not at work. I'm not saying that. You know, even if it's a guy who, you know, walks around the block for 20 minutes, you know, but kind of watches his diet, you know, those types of kind of really basic things. You know, I'm not looking for Atlas, you know, you know, I'm not looking for Hercules, okay? But somebody who really cares about, you know, what he puts into his body. That's not to say that, you know, we don't have cheat nights where we go to, you know, a restaurant like Cheesecake Factory and kind of, you know, have fun and binge and eat the whole cake while we're, you know, I'm sorry, not the whole cake, but eat the whole piece of cheesecake while we're there. Yeah, that's fine. That's fun. You know, I'm not at a point where, you know, it's so strict and stringent, because I'm not that way. You know, I'm not. But I've been able to maintain, you know, I told you about this before about, you know, I lost 4 dress sizes 3 years ago, and I've maintained my weight. And so, you know, that's not because, you know, I'm weighing every single piece of ounce of food that goes into my body. I don't live that way. No. And I don't really, for me, I don't expect anybody else to either. But it's just, you know, okay, you know, you might have a day or two, like, okay, you know, you have fun. Like for me, okay, a few days before my period, I'm craving chocolate so bad, you know, my head's spinning, okay? You know, and I satisfy that a lot of times. And so, you know, but, you know, I rein that in, I pull it back and say, okay, it's time to get back to what I need to do, which is, you know, just be more careful about what I eat and all that good stuff. So I hope that this was really something that was refreshing to you. You know, for folks who really are interested in being in a relationship, or if you are in a relationship and, you know, it's something that's a new relationship and you're really just trying to get a grasp of everything and establish how you want him to treat you and how you want to treat him, because we do teach people how to treat us. And so, you know, even if you're at that stage, or even if you've been in a relationship for a while and, you know, maybe things are just kind of going kind of stale and, you know, you're just not sure, of, where this is going, this is a good reminder to try to, to really anchor either establish a relationship or continuing a relationship. Just that kind of give and take and honoring one another. It's so important, I think, just honoring one another that way. Us respecting them as men, and men loving us, honoring us that way. Honoring their time that they're spending with us, their sacrifice, and all that they do to anchor us in the relationship, both financially and spiritually and emotionally a lot of times too. I mean, sometimes, you find that, the woman is the, even temperate one, the guy is the type A personality, and that's fine. But, for the most part, they're our covering. They are who we go to for our peace and our shelter, and vice versa too. When they come home, they want to be received and loved and taken care of and acknowledged and appreciated. So I hope you find that helpful. I'll continue to talk about this as I go through this journey. We just started this singles class. I really like it. Our instructor is wonderful. She's very candid, which is important because it's a lot of times, we can kind of release and relate when someone is, candid and say, yeah, I experienced that too, or somebody close to me experienced that too. And thank you for sharing that because it'll help me to not have to walk through that. So thank you for spending a little bit of your lunch with me. Tomorrow is Q&A, so come hungry and bring your questions. If you want to leave a comment here for this video, or if you have some questions early that you want to send for tomorrow, that's great. You can do that if you're watching live or if you're watching the tape version. Enjoy the rest of your lunch and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care.